everybody, and welcome to the FFIL Solidity team call. My name is Marisa Maggio, and I'm super excited to be on today with all of you guys. Super special call today. As it pertains to product training and knowledge, it is really important as you're getting going in this business to pick up a piece, so to say, each and every day as you're moving and you're going along in your business. And that is a type of thing that as we kind of go through this business, it's always going to be changing and evolving. And that's just one more thing to love about the insurance industry. But with that all being said, we have Roberto Silva with Corbridge on with us today. Roberto, how are you doing today?
Well, Marisa, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Well, super excited to have you on with us today. And I know we had the chance to meet out at convention, which was great. And, you said, hey, if you or your team ever want to hear more about kind of the products, kind of the ins, the outs, the goods, the bad, so to say, I'd be happy to jump on a call. So just really excited and thankful to have you on with us today. But with all that being said, Roberto, and you can boogie this out however you'd like to, but really kind of the first thing I wanted you to hit on, if possible, is, we have essentially those three core products that we work with, right? SIWL, graded, and GIWL. I know for me, it took me a moment to realize the difference between graded and GIWL. But would you mind just kind of hitting on those three products, the goods, the bads, and so on?
Yeah, absolutely. So we offer three different solutions. Really, it's two solutions, but with the simplified issue whole life, you're going to have that level decision or the graded. The level decision is simply day one immediate coverage, while the graded is going to be your standard 2-year waiting period. With our GIWL, that's also a 2-year waiting period. However, the main difference when you compare and contrast both solutions, both that 2-year waiting period on the SI and the GI, you're going to see better rates for your clients on the simplified issue graded product.
And that is it a graded product, Roberto? Like everybody qualifies for it?
Yeah, on the GIWL, the guaranteed issue, anybody qualifies for it. You just have to be between ages 50 and 80. So that's the guaranteed issue, right? On the simplified issue, that's going to work a little bit different, because on the simplified issue, we are going to ask you some underwriting questions. The reason we're asking you underwriting questions is because we want to see if your client is healthy enough to qualify for that level coverage. If they don't qualify for that level coverage, and they're potentially able to qualify for the graded, that's still, again, from a financial standpoint, going to be a better fit for your client. And we know that in this particular business, $5 or $10 a month is a big deal.
Absolutely. And, I love how with the graded product, you explain like you do still have to qualify for it because it is typically going to be in a better pricing or cost, so to say. But what else I love about it is you start at that SIWL or that immediate product, right? And you're able to really kind of run that through and gear yourself down to graded, and if needed, go GIWL within the same app or within the same, field, so to say. So it's pretty quick, especially if you're doing things over the phone like most of us are. But with all that being said, Roberto, if you wouldn't mind kind of diving into SIWL and kind of the pros to that versus maybe some other, whole life products that we use now.
Yeah, thank you. So before I jump into the SIWL, because that's really where we're having the majority of our conversations, I want to thank you all for your GIWL business. Please continue to give our GIWL some love. But as I go through this today, it's going to be mainly focused on the simplified issue. We're really excited about both products. And then, Marisa, at the end, I am going to end with our bonus opportunities that we have going on. But when you're out in the field, when you're doing your expert underwriting questions with your client, and you think that they have a chance to qualify for our SIWL, and there might be a little bit of doubt, you always want to start with the SIWL. Here is why. Obviously, we talked about it's going to be better rates for your client. But again, I recognize that in some instances, your clients are just not healthy, right? And from the get-go that you're going to go right to the GIWL. But if there is a chance, a possibility that your client qualifies for it, you always want to start with SIWL. Our process, we've built this process with you as agents in mind. You mentioned it earlier. You are on the phone with your clients, right? It's a transactional business where you want to get the sale while obviously you're caring for their needs, but you want to make sure that it's as efficient as possible. So with the process that we've designed, you are going to enter your client's basic information, so name, address, etc. You're going to then answer a series of underwriting questions. We do not pull medical records. We do not get information from the MIB. What we are going to do is that Milliman script check that tells us about their prescriptions. So they answer the underwriting questions, yes and no, sis, yes and no's. You click underwrite case, and within minutes, our team, our website, I pipeline it, is thinking, right? And within minutes, you're going to have a decision based off the prescription check and the way your client answered the questions. You're going to receive an instant and final underwriting decision. The reason I like to emphasize instant is because, again, it's going to happen within minutes. There's no need for you to wait a couple of days, a couple of weeks to get a decision, and it's final. Once you get that decision on there, whether it's good or bad, it's final. We're not going to come back later and take that decision away. It's final. You are right there in that one meeting. You're able to tell your client that, yes, Miss Johnson, congratulations. We've got you insured. You're going to be able to get moving forward with this coverage today. So that process, again, you're going to have that decision early on in the application. Once you get that decision and you are satisfied with it, at that point, you can move on to the second half of the application, where we're then going to ask for your beneficiary information and your payment information. So for you as agents out in the field, that is just huge, because you don't have to put in payment beneficiary until you know what type of coverage your client is going to get. So keep that in mind. If you ever have any doubts as far as whether your client's going to qualify or not, take 10 or 15 minutes to go through the first half of the application. You get the decision. If you like it, good, let's move on. If not, you shift over to our GIWL, and you don't have to explain to your client who this other carrier is. We're still the same one.
Right, which is great and huge, because especially whether it's in-home, over the phone, sometimes folks get confused when we're working around multiple different companies. So I love that. Like we said, all in the same platform, you're able to go from a level product down to graded if it's needed. Now, what would you say are some of the things that, makes SIWL, that immediate whole life benefit, more competitive? Like, what are some health elements that maybe you guys take on there that maybe some other carriers might not be too friendly to?
I feel like you are reading my notes right now through your screen. Because usually when I go through my presentation, I go through the process, what it's like, and then I hit on the underwriting sweet spots. So
beautiful.
You are all, as I mentioned earlier, you're all expert underwriters in the field, right? You know that if your client has medical condition A, you're automatically going to take them to carrier A. It's in the back of your head. So here's a couple that are the most common with us that you definitely want to make sure you're utilizing. So first and foremost, diabetes. If your client has an A1C score of 8.6 or less, and they are not on insulin, that by itself, they're going to receive that level coverage. So the key word with this one is that they got to have a healthy A1C score. So that tells our underwriters that it's controlled, it's stable, they're taking care of their condition, and not on insulin. So that's going to be the key word, not on insulin as well. That by itself, again, Marissa, will qualify them for level. But I do always have a disclaimer here. If I get a call and I said, hey, my client answered no to both of these, right? They should have gotten level. Oh, but then they also have a heart problem. They have arthritis. So the more comorbidities you add to it, it's going to decrease those chances. But just want to make sure that by itself. Second one, probably the biggest advantage that we have out in the marketplace is our cancers. Not all cancers. I do want to emphasize that. And when I started, so I've only been with Corbridge since September, right? And this cancer continues to come up. What I have learned throughout my career here at Corebridge is that as soon as one of your clients said cancer, you were automatically thinking AIG, GIWO, done deal. But now, what if I told you that we've changed that and we are now accepting some cancer situations with our SIWL for level day one coverage? Those two that are most common is prostate and breast cancer. I've been traveling so much in the start of this year, and a lot of the folks I've talked to, they're like, hey, I heard your presentation about the stage 1 cancers. I was actually able to get one of my clients level coverage because they had breast cancer and it was treated 2 years ago. Those are the stories I love to hear. I'm going off on a tangent now, but stage 1 breast cancer, prostate cancer, treated or diagnosed in the last 48 months will be a level day 1 coverage. Not that there's any cancer that's better than the other, but those two are some of the most common. And I have an underwriting guide that I'll share with you and Rami after this call that spells out our underwritings or our cancers and what those decisions would be, as well as the timeframes.
That's huge.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. I mean, the more I'm out in the field, the more I hear stories about agents writing their cancer clients and obtaining that level coverage, which is incredible.
Absolutely. I've never heard that. So I'm excited because I know I'm going to be using it whenever I talk to somebody that's in that scenario. So that's amazing.
Yeah. Great.
Roberto,
Yeah. Yes.
what would make a client not qualify for simplified issued whole life graded? Like, when do you know to transition to guaranteed and not try to write them SIWL graded?
Yeah, great question. So typically when a client has a lot of medical conditions going on, right? So then it becomes a huge combination of it. That's usually when we start to see a shift towards it. There's a couple other medical conditions that we just don't take. And again, it's going to be spelled out here in the underwriting guide for you. So for example, I'll give you, if your client, this is pretty obvious, but if your client has Alzheimer's or dementia, it's going to be an automatic decline, right? So at that point, you're going to look over our GIW or towards our GIWL. If they have a very advanced stage of cancer, it's not going to work out on the SIWL. So those are a couple of the things that we see are more commonly, you're automatically going to shift into that GIWL.
And with the sorry, Marisa, with the graded, that still has the 2-year wait period where it's premiums plus 10%. It's just priced better than the guaranteed.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And I think a couple weeks ago, I was having a similar conversation and I looked at the pricing, which again, we also have a rate sheet. And I think for the same parameters, it was about $20 cheaper on the SIWL graded than it was on the guaranteed issue.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
All right. And then I saw, a nice bonus rolled out with the SIWL product and just in general coming from Corbridge. Talk to us a little bit about that, Roberto.
Yeah, we've never done anything like it. So it is super exciting. I remember when I was out in Connecticut, actually no, Boston, and I went with Eric Schmidt and I went up and spoke about our $2,500 bonus that we had last year. It drew so much excitement. So just to give you an idea of what it was last year, for those that may not be familiar, you would write 10 simplified issue policies, issue paid, and you would earn a $2,500 bonus. That was a yearly contest that we did. The one we came up with this year, it got approved during Christmas time. So whoever approved it, I think may have had too many cocktails or were in the holiday spirit, which is not a bad thing for us. I'll tell you that much. So right now, our bonus that we have going on, we switched up. It's now a quarterly bonus. So now it's going to create a little bit more urgency and we're paying you out quicker, right? With this new bonus, you're looking at a potential $8,000. I mean, it's just incredible opportunity. $8,000. If you've written any SIWL policies this year since January 1st, you have until March 31st, that's the end of the first quarter, to pay a policy and have it stay in the books. I recognize we've got about a month left, right? So if you haven't written a single policy, that is okay. We have a tiered system. So the 20 policies earns you 8,000. It's going to work in increments of 5. So 5, 10, 15, and 20 is the final one. 5 issue paid policies is going to earn you a bonus of 500. 10 policies, you're going to earn 2,000. So now you're at 2,500. And guess what? We already matched the bonus from last year. 15 policies will send you an additional 2,500. So now you're at 5,000. And then the final one is 20. We send you another 3,000. And guess what? $8,000. This is on top of the commission that you're already going to be generating off of your sales.
Guys, this is huge. And just really quickly to speak onto the commission as well, like, guys, GIWL, we know it, we love it, we need it, and we all know it doesn't have the best comp. However, SIWL has an absolutely amazing comp. And I think it's important that we keep that in mind. You know, there's all different carrier bonuses coming out, but when I saw this particular one, and I'm not just saying this because you're on the call, Roberto, I was like, 20 and for 8,000, like that's it, and they just have to stay on the books. Like, we can do that, right? In a quarter. So guys, really think about adding. That would be an additional, if you did it every quarter, that's an additional $32,000 in just bonusable income that you could be adding into your pocket. So when we're picking our carriers, we want to make sure that we're taking all things into account, including the client, but also including, hey, if this client can benefit from this product with this solution here with Corbridge, let's go with Corbridge because they have a great bonus, right? So I was really excited to see that, Roberto. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, thank you. I share the same excitement. One thing that I do wanna clear up as well, that $8,000 bonus, that's what we have going on for quarter 1. We don't have quarters 2, 3, and 4 written out yet. What I can share is that they're probably not going to be the $8,000. We're still going to keep it somewhere, try to keep it anywhere from 5,000 to 6,000, right? But for us, it was imperative that we at least got this one out to you so you can jump on it right away, have a fast start to your 2024. But we're still going to see some attractive bonuses in 2, 3, and 4. I just don't know what they are yet.
Love it. All right. You're like, so don't jump the gun on the 32, but guys, we still have the opportunity. Everybody on this call, we still have a whole month, right, to issue out 20 policies. Most of us help 20 families each and every month and some, so definitely doable. Love it. And having that quarterly bonus, just like that, is awesome. It's better than the yearly one. So just really excited for that and for what's to come. One question that I didn't ask you, Roberto, not to go all over the place, but the nursing home rider, can you talk to us a little bit about what that means?
So that's one of the living benefits, if you will. And that's just if your client becomes terminally ill, chronically ill, and they need a nursing home. I don't have the specifics with me, but it is just another one of our riders that are added into the policies at no additional cost. But as you're really, when you're focusing on these type of solutions with the final expense, they're really going to be geared towards those final expense needs where, you know, they pass away, they want to leave some money behind for the family. With these riders that are embedded into the policies, they're really not going to be something huge for like a huge selling point, right? It's definitely something that's there and it's active for the policy, so it's going to be a differentiator. But really, when we focus and when you're having conversation with your clients, if they're looking for a specific, like I know there's cancer policies out there, you could always supplement it with one of these policies. Remember, it's up to 25,000 on the GI and up to 35,000 on the simplified issue. So should really be used as a way to complement each other's.
Got it. That makes sense. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. And I know I spoke over you quite a few times, so I apologize. I get excited. But is there anything else that you wanted to hit on or you feel like would be important to know about Corbridge kind of, you know, being in the first quarter of this year?
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple other two main things that I do want to talk about, right? You're in a business where you're helping agents, or I'm sorry, you're helping your community, you're helping clients, but at the same time, we're doing it for the love of the money, right? So a couple ways that aside from the bonus, right? Keep these next two things in mind. First one, a little bit more important for you. The payment method, right? We take debit card, credit card, a bank draft, and direct express Social Security. None of these methods impact your commission. I know that out in the marketplace, let's say you use a credit card, they're going to withhold your commission a bit. We do not do any of that. It does not matter to us how your client pays. You're going to receive the same advance that you normally would on any way you pay. So that's definitely going to be huge. We accept direct express on both of our solutions. So as you're having conversation with your clients and they let you know that their only source of funds is going to be direct express Social Security, you should automatically be thinking about writing them a Corbridge policy. So that's the first point. Second point, we offer a limited pay feature. And I don't know why I said offer. It's already included in there, right? So it's not like, hey, you pay extra for this feature. So what the limited pay feature does, it's a really cool feature that basically means that at some point in your clients' lives, they are going to stop paying premiums into their policies and their coverage will continue. So as you're familiar with other policies out in the marketplace, right? They're going to keep paying premiums until they pass away. With Corbridge, both the GI and the SI, with that limited pay feature that is automatically included in the policy, their premiums will stop at a certain point in their life and coverage will continue. So you can leave your clients home with the comfort of them knowing that.
That's huge. And guys, when you're quoting kind of within, Corbridge, you'll be able to see too, it will say they'll stop paying at this age. So make sure you take that into account. It's really cool because you might be saying, well, when do they stop paying? Just take a look right at the chart. It shows you literally at what age they'll stop paying. And you can explain that to them, which is a beautiful thing. Because like you said, Roberta, other carriers, you're just paying on it until that day should come, so to say. And then huge on the direct express, credit card, debit card, whatever it is, essentially Corbridge takes it. So guys, it's as we usually identify within our process, do they have a bank account? Do they not have a bank account? If we know that they don't have a bank account and they're going to be using maybe that direct express card, we should absolutely be looking at Corbridge, whether it's for the simplified issue whole life or the guaranteed issue whole life, depending on their health. But that's a huge, huge key. I know for myself, I have went Corbridge many times just due to it being a direct express card, even before any of these amazing features were out. So guys, just be mindful, like we have a level whole life product that offers a bonus and offers great things to your clients and takes direct express, takes the debit card, takes the credit card. You guys know I'm not a big fan of debit and credit, but direct express is going to come in and we want to make sure we're able to help our clients. So love it. Awesome.
Yeah, Marissa, I will just say, again, thank you for the partnership. And I want everyone on this call to know that I am your resource, right? If you have any questions, really any issues with Corbridge at all, I will share Marissa and Rami, you have my contact information. Please share it with your team because I am here not only to be your partner, but I am a resource to you. So I want to make sure that you are succeeding and we're trying to make this as smooth and easy as possible for you. Are there going to be hiccups? Absolutely. But just use me wherever you can.
Absolutely. And we appreciate your partnership so much, Roberto. We'll definitely be utilizing you. We're really thankful to be in business and have somebody like you by our side. So thank you so much for being on with us today.